I'm Jared Haynes, and this is Rogue Outdoors. Today I want to talk to you about my line of archery tabs that I've released. So to start this video off, I want to explain how these tabs came about. Over the years of shooting, I've always wanted little variations or differences in either leather thickness or the way that the tabs looked. And as I've purchased more and more tabs from other companies, I kind of took all the different things I liked about each one of those tabs and put them into my own design. So these are not made by any outside company. My wife and I make these in our house. We're, hand cutting these out. We're gluing them up and putting them all together. It's all made here in the US and it's all purchased leather locally. Now let's dive into the materials that are being used on these tabs. So there's a little bit of variations, but generally speaking, every single one of the tabs on the back portion is going to have a veg tan 4 to 5 ounce piece of leather. Obviously the leather varies a tiny bit. I try to keep them as uniform as possible, but that's what the backing is. I've found that this lasts quite a while. This tab right here shoots multiple times a week. I go out and shoot with it. It's been in rain. I've hunted with this, and I've had it for about 9 months now. And this is the kind of wear level that it is at. It is in very great condition still. Now the front fabric, as you can see here, I have green and then this black front fabric that I'm running. These two pieces of leather are also going to be about that 5 ounce level, but they're a little bit softer oil tanned leather, so they give a little bit of cushion. They mold really, really quickly, as you can see right here. It has a good crease in it. It allows, good floppiness to get out of the way, in my opinion, but then that back section adds that little bit of rigidity so that it's, not just totally flopping all over the place. So I'm building the two tabs using those. I'd eventually like to get a few other colors of this leather, but out of all the different types I've tested, these are the only two that are giving me that feeling where you feel the string, but you don't have too much pressure on your hands. Now I have this accent piece and also part back towards the palm to give the tab more rigidity. Now this is where the tabs vary quite a bit. So I have quite a few different options, and these you'll want to get your hands on or just make a educated choice if you decide to go with one of these tabs. The back section right here on this one is super thick. It's like a 9 ounce piece of leather. On this one right here, I'm running the same veg tan, and then I have a piece of ostrich leather on top of it for like beautification, I guess you'd say. This one over here has that same 5 ounce leather on it. So you've got the back veg tan, then the green leather, and then a piece of the black leather on front, to change the looks. So I have all sorts of options that you'll be able to choose from, pick what look that you like, and I'll be releasing all sorts of different styles. Now to hold all of this together, what I'm doing is I take the back piece of leather, front piece, and this piece, I scratch each one and use a flexible glue. So these do have a little bit of movement. As you can see here, if I take this one, they can flex with your hand. However, it keeps them held together pretty tight. I then put a rivet in here. As you can see on like this one right here, there's a brass rivet that's in there. And then I also punch 4 holes, top and bottom, and then run stitching through there, and I stitch them up to give beauty and kind of a cool look, I think, to them, as well as hold down, the top and bottom sections. So after that gets done, I burnish the edges, and that gives it a smooth, clean look. Let me grab one like this guy right here, or this one right here shows it really well. These edges are really nicely burnished and smooth, so it gives you that clean look and holds the whole package together. Now, due to the materials that I've used being a little bit more flexible, it gives me a really quick break-in period. So this tab right here I built just the other day, and I've taken it out for one range session. I've shot probably 20, 30 arrows out of it, and as you can see here, it's already starting to get that curve to it. I find that you're looking at usually around 50 arrows, and it's going to have a more aggressive curve to it and keep its string angle, where you keep the string permanently, rounded in there. But each person, just depends on how often you shoot. But usually in one session, you're going to get the curvature to where it should be. So really the only thing that you're going to have to do when you initially get the tabs, I'm sending them out like this, where the 2 layers are even, is you are going to want to trim down that front section. I was kind of debated back and forth on if I wanted to pre-trim these before sending them out, but I think it's a very simple process to do, and it allows for the person to leave it longer if that's how you like to shoot. So what I typically like to do, if you don't normally trim your own tabs, is put the tab on and then bend my fingers to wherever I would normally bend. So this would be my normal feel on when I'm holding the string. Then I'll take my hand out of it and kind of pinch those, and you can see that there's a little bit of the front over top of the back section hanging past. Well, this more likely than not is going to be smacking against your face. So very easily, all you have to do, take some scissors and just trim this so that they're even. This is a good starting point, I find. Come up here, boom, got your extra leather right there. And now that's rounded so that when I put the tab back on and I bend to that angle, they're going to be even now. I'm not going to have that hitting my face. So that's the first initial break-in thing that you're going to want to do, is trim that, and then go in small increments. Make sure that you don't go too crazy on that first cut and trim it way back, because you can't ever put leather back. You can only take away. So just do it step by step, a little bit at a time, and you'll get it perfect. I hope this video answered any questions you may have on the Rogue Outdoors tabs. If it did not, go ahead and look into the description below, and there's going to be an email that you can email me directly at, and I'll answer any questions for you. These are going to be available through direct messaging off of Facebook, and then I'm working on different outlets where I'll be selling these through. I do also have a line of pocket quivers that'll be coming. There's going to be a separate video on those, but quickly I will touch on, I'm going to have a soft version that molds in your pocket, as well as a much more rigid option. The front fabric's still the same, but the back sections are quite a bit more rigid, so it holds its form depending upon what you're looking for. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please consider leaving a comment about which one of these would be your favorite option, what you might go with, or any potential changes that you might like to see. Thank you for watching.